Hello, 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 and welcome back to Of Scribes and Men. I am your host, Sam, the mad poet of 5,000, soon to be 10,000. I am halfway through my journey going through the 1,000 poems between 41 and 50. 50 is going to be a doozy. Let's not waste any more time and get into volume 42. Everyone is searching, but what have they found? While struggling through life and fumbling around, here we stand trying to make sense of it all before our time comes when we answer the call. All the things we could have gone for, all the things we could have achieved, if we had the courage to step through the door, to go and grasp all that we had believed. Echoes called where we could not hear, drawing louder and coming so near. Yet it's true that we were but deaf, distracted by sirens' call and breath. Were we ever so content with the things we saw and places we went, to sit still and take it all in, to bring into memories to new lock now within? They say tax the rich, but what do they know? Where in their greed they lie and they steal, thinking their violence is the right way to show, yet that was never part of the deal. Oh, the systems ever flowing, without them ever knowing, how could it possibly be that they are blind, although they see? We walked among the still alleys, through the city and silent alleys, to reach liminal spaces gone unseen, lost in a place where none have been. The silver light of the moon, shining across silent streams, when the valleys are at peace, like a scene in people's dreams. Violent are the tyrant's ways, though power through power as their displays, will your rebellion to raise, end our miserable days. Distractions coming in to cause a divide, whispering hate to raise with the wrath inside. As many now see nothing wrong, as they form the groups for one to belong. Moments of hate whispered by ones they praise, believe they would grant them their selfish desire, if only they had properly learned their ways. Perhaps they would not end up burned by fire. The fall that brought in sin, causing the world to break, as all kinds of evils flood in to harm, as all kinds of evil flood in to harm. The start of a promise to eventually save a fallen state of us humans, Jesus. Life is a marathon, not a race. What does it matter to gain first place? For the goal is to finally arrive into heaven and be eternally alive. Questions behind the meaning of lust and desire, wondering what is causing this passionate fire, when one has never felt any of it before, yet our system always comes asking for more. In our falling, will we ever learn to fly? All before we all hit the ground and die, like the last drop from an hourglass, as the sands count each who come to pass. What comes around goes around, yet you won't forgive. For how do you expect to be able to live, with all the bitterness growing inside, all while you put on countless masks, trying to hide? We may run, but we will always come back before the throne, before laying it all down, before the feet of Jesus' own. For heavy is the crown that one must wear, placed into the hands of God's divine care. Simpler days now gone on by, yet those days do not truly die, for they are what we make it along nature's paths and places we sit. Put away your hand so full of rage that has built you your own cage. Learn to breathe and move on so that you may see the sun's dawn. The rage of nature of which we have no control when the storms come in. Yep. Well, promises made that were never kept, all while they fell into complacency as they slept, thinking all that they did was right, as their eyes soon began fading from sight. Blood from the flowers, thorns as they cut across skin, as we feel the sting of broken relationships piercing our hearts with a sharp pain. Do we remember the moment of the best times we went and spent, locked away into memories that fade away, only to remember it all when we die one day? Did we give more than we took, whether or not when others would look, all within the places we held, along the streets where others had dwelled? Curse of your chaos to bring you its pain, all for your laughter with nothing to gain. What lessons have you learned yet of the ones you never saw that were set? All that wisdom, and where did it lead, holding on to all that power and greed? Where was the humility to go and repent of all the sins you went and spent? Lonely hearts to be broken, under temptations ever spoken, sadistic in its pleasure, taking pieces of your treasure. Holding on to what should have been known, back when it came to be shown, I shall too fall victim to the past, never to move forward when asked. Darkness closing in, now blind, detesting all help in kind, drinking in the bitterness that's stealing, drowning now in my feeling. Giving pieces of yourself, are you feeling any joy? Giving pieces of yourself to be treated like a toy. Giving pieces like yourself, another piece to destroy. Giving pieces of yourself through seduction, acting coy. Giving pieces of yourself into the hands of every boy. Giving pieces of yourself no longer able to enjoy. Giving pieces to yourself. What gifts of love will you give to bring the joy for all to live? Or have you given into cynical hate, distrusting everything, lost in a bitter state? Stillness of all things, throughout every day's passing in time's illusion, learning from our vanity before we all pass away, ever still within our graves. Moments clarity that opened our tired eyes, we start a new day. Standing in the melancholy of the rain, whether dancing in joy or staring in pain, a scene from a movie or a scene from our life, when pushed to the edge by the tip of a knife. So many things we could have done with all the games we could have won. Yet complacency leaves us to never fully try. This is the reason behind the questions of why. Falling, as others laugh, at a pain they don't feel, for it does not affect all those who watch. Path of a villain hidden behind a smile, set to deceive as they come to defile. All that we held so innocent and pure, broken now, and there is no cure. Roses are red, yet this is true, but only if you had a proper view of all the things beyond a basic skill, all for a joke you long to fill. Have you faced a berserker's rage like a wolverine trapped in a cage, never needing a reason to fight, whether by their axe or bite? Deals made at the edge of a bet against those you should not have met. Before they take a finger, they'll take it all. Welcome to your hubris. How was the fall? Welcome to your hubris. How was the fall? Perfection is not within me, despite the mind that longs it to be. Yet how can I grow if I don't fail, even though it causes my face to go pale? The essence of that which is good, and the essence of that which is not. Through philosophical conversations and their debate, yet to know the answer, must we truly wait? Peace with the self that I try to gain, also that I could remain sane. Just so anxiety does not invite itself in, so peace with myself will be treated as a win. Mistakes now coming in late, such was never meant to be my fate. Yet distractions came in and time passed by, now to be scrambling in a panic with an internal cry. Who are you trying to pass in a life's rat race when everybody else has their own pace? And is being late truly so bad, or does it constantly drive you mad? What does it matter if you're a little mad? Is it a little bit of chaos truly so bad? Is a little bit of chaos truly so bad? Let them watch and stare. At the end of the day, will they truly care? Everyone is a clown in their own style, even if boring all through the while. Yet still in a circus, still in a show, whether or not they ever come to know. In time's offering, of all things we could do, wasting it away. Give me a moment, give me a smile. As you spin around give me a moment, give me a smile. As you spin around in new clothes and the style. Fashion a skill for those who know. Flaunting it with every eye's place. Flaunting it with an envy places they go. All that falls into our hand when things go as God planned. As we move down that path, even though others may laugh. Confused and unable to do that which is wrong, all while they're trying to figure out how to belong. Yet the answers given were never right, and now others are demanded to fall in line on sight. Unable to use words by offenses said by those who truly wish for you to be dead. I really needed to do these earlier. Anyways. At the same who goes self-righteously around, claiming they're the most tolerant to be found. We made room for fools to do as they wish. And now we're drinking up that bitter dish. As evil turns for good all the while, they demand to be catered to with a smile. 1,000 years down the line, others were to find these words of mine. What would they understand? What would they see? That guided them to understand the way things used to be. Land covered in snow, as frigid winds blow on in a winter storm. What was offered when we didn't know? The way our lives from then would go. Always in hindsight for us to see, now as caged birds, never free. The fragility of every moment in life. Season to season, only in age do we learn to appreciate what was as time continues flowing. A moment's stillness as time itself seems to stop when petals fall down. Green eyes ever so tainted by the lies that were painted, as rose-tinted glasses broke by every word they spoke. As it was written, so shall it be, to change the words that none shall be free, and though they may dare, it shall be handed into a lawyer's care. Yes, okay, so, so this, okay. So this would be more of a modern Ghazal, not a traditional Ghazal, because the refrain is on this line when it should be somewhere in here. I've placed it in here. That is not the traditional way you're supposed to put it. You'll understand when you see me do a proper one. Is it unto my soul that I come to reflect, in the matters of the heart that comes to reflect, towards the merchant's wisdom who comes to collect, who judges the end of day as they reflect, as joyful cheers erupt to those who command respect, while others hide in shadows unable to reflect, others still in vanity with the mirrors they inspect, a version of themselves that come to reflect, for anguish longing to connect, haunted by words they use to reflect. Oh, of Scribes and Men, have you checked the reason we all should come to self-reflect? So this is going to be more of a proper Ghazal, because this has all the right places where it should go. This is how a typical English traditional Ghazal would be written. What thoughts we gather when we compose as it flows, in wandering state in a wandering state where the spirit knows as it flows. Games of strategy by those who call themselves wise, with each placement how the piece now shows as it flows. Shall men accept the orders of fools in power, when places in battle where violence goes as it flows? What is a piece of children who play in innocence along the stream, skipping their rock throws as it flows? To you of scribes and men with the words you write, shall you cast them to sea and watch the prose as it flows? That is the proper structure. I know you guys haven't seen me write one until now, but just because I haven't doesn't mean I can't. It's just the other one just makes it feels better in my mind. But you guys might like this version more, might want me to write more traditional Ghazals like this. What gifts to be lost, or would we ever know the hidden cost, when someone poured their souls in to the ones they consider closer than kin? When shall we truly come to know peace, when in all the wars and anxieties finally cease, feeling 80 years or more of pain, all for an eternity everyone longs to gain? Jokes made to those who could not hear, causing others to look in concern and fear, never knowing what the nightmare caught, that vivid dreams came and brought. Offerings of respite, try as they might, bring upon you some delight, with peaceful dreams brought at night. Mind of its own, what did it see, when it departed away from me, towards adventures to the unknown, never to share what was shown. Each moment we go on living, learning what it means to be forgiving, so that we may know peace within, as Jesus forgives us our sin. Down with the king, they cry, those voted in. Those ignorant fools with empty minds within, with nigh a history book to go and inspect, while also not knowing how to self-reflect. They say any other time or place, when such it will never be the case, for diverging universes to go and split, for an alternate reality to come in and fit. Every day comes another chance, as we go through life's dance, trying not to stumble or fall, with struggles that faces us all. Yeah. Secrets of the moonlight hidden within the hours of night. Tales of the sleeping will never know, for they do not see what the night will show. I worry about what I cannot control, whether I succeed or whether I fall. It is not in myself that I should trust, when giving it to God is a must. Look of love behind her eyes, like the movement of the season and skies, who might seduce or tease on sight, just to watch me start blushing all night. Lily dressed in black, held by flowers of a ghost, that traced their way in, seeking a fair connection like a faded memory. Clarity of a still moment when we breathe. Am I ambitious to do as I please, to bring all I desire down to their knees, towards the styles that try to fight, only for me to control out of sheer spite? Volume 50. Volume 50. You'll understand what spite looks like in Volume 50. Especially to a forum. Especially to the forum. I broke the bridge before I burned it with fire, a death to the past set on to a pyre. And should there be a price to pay, then it would be the connections lost along the way. Is my writing simple or layered with wit? Questions I ask along the chairs I sit, as overthinking comes, causing pain the moment I argue with my brain. Are all the things we dreamed under starlit nights, into vivid imaginations within subconscious sights? A vision show the path that never split, so that we may find ourselves in places we fit. No one truly cares what the war has gone or been, except when the first world nation comes on scene. And for if they had, then they would act. But that was not the deal made within their pact. Yeah. Spare me your false sense of morality, as you raise up errors while drowning in depravity. Your fickle nature with the souls you sold. Yet you have the audacity to try and come and scold. This was always prepared right from the beginning. The warnings the prophets came in singing. So why should we ever be surprised when evil pretends to be good disguised? Minds broken and the masses cheers, while others go silent out of fear. And this is how evil becomes so bold to take a hold with all it now controlled. People seeking love and connection while refusing to not give perfection, wondering if now why they remain lonely, never to end up with their one and only. Okay. So many things circling around while I stare up laying on the ground, all while my mind begins to fade into the world of fantasy it once played. A heart to offer before it's broken, but the simple words of the cruel have spoken, who laugh at the front love for their desire and lust. For what is true intimacy you're unable to trust? Merge of the dreams within my head. The moment I go fall asleep in my bed, only to forget the adventures the moment I awake, and there goes another story I've gone to forsake. Did we remember to give more than we took, like the guidance given by the good book, with scripture of wisdom to go live by, although we were often ones who tend to deny? A system so selfish we think we are pure, blinded by the sickness, never noticing the cure. From the hand given we reject or ignore, yet still he waits until you open the door. Oh, how the distractions went and conspired, while I was already tired. Oh, shoot. To steal the attention from where I should be, because look at the shiny thing you can see. Waiting for the ending of a bright, beautiful day before the winter. Of all the things we would write, of all the things that we would write, of the heroes and villains in sight, shall both die or shall one live? So many endings one could give. When you are the ghost, okay. Moments of madness, and I'm here with a smile. No need to worry, for I'll be here a while. You say it's creepy, yet I say that's wrong. When you are the ghost who shouldn't belong. When you're the ghost who shouldn't belong, yeah. All that we've done and all that we've seen, yet no clearer picture through the places we've been, as we stumble around to find the way, as we go through life in our own way. Sleep a gift often taken for granted, true, upon the bed where our head should be planted, yet here we are staying awake through the night with our sleep to forsake. One to another, another to the one, we will tell the tales of all that we have done, away from the others where none should see, where all things are hidden while we're feeling so free. A gift of the giver who knows how to make you quiver, all in the pleasures they bring that would make even the mute sing. Tales of your offering, and I'm not amused with you when you've taken from all you've abused, feeling no guilty, and you're still sitting. Tales of your offerings, and I'm not amused when you take it all from. When you've taken from all you've abused, feeling no guilt in your sin and you thinking you're free. I'm not one to judge, but God will be. And that is going to be it for Volume 2. Almost fell asleep there. Yeah. I'll see you guys then for the next two after this, but mostly 43 and so on and so forth. Until then, bye.